Dum 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 dum. You think I'll get copyright strike for this? Dum 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 dum. Oh, dumb. Dum 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 dum. Oh, ow, wow. That hurt. Oh, dum 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 dum. Boom. What do you think of this? Pouring oil out of it. And I didn't really build that, Cat did. Okay, I got the starter in, I got the cables hooked up, I put some protective wrap on them. Let's crank this starter over, see how she sounds. Cranks it pretty good. Okay, go baby, go. So I got a throttle issue here. I can make about 20 psi is all to the throttle delivery, and it's not enough to overcome this. Anyway, I had one here, a test unit, and I can get 40 pretty easily out of that one. So gonna have to pull the throttle out of the front up there and see what's going on. Something has happened to it that we're not getting the pressure we need. Okay, this is how these valves go together and work. So this is the inlet here, feed the air into here, and this is the actual valve, and so the air is on this side. So when you push on it, it pushes this down and opens this up, and then the pressure air reacts against this piston to bring it back to stop the air from flowing through. Anyway, it's a pretty nifty deal, but you got a lot of little fine adjustments. You got 2 springs in here, you got a nut adjustment here, shims here, and shims down in here to make it operate correctly. So it's just like an air regulator, and it holds the air pressure to wherever you set it. These are governor washers that I grind down, and what you do is you just put them on a 3/8 bolt, go over to the grinder and hold it sideways and run her down until you get her that small. I should probably do the same to these other ones here, but this is how you're going to jack up the maximum pressure. You're going to shim this small spring. Now the small spring had 0 shims under it, which is odd because all the other valves I've taken apart, they've had shims under it. So I've got 3 in there now, and I've got it up to, just about 30 pounds. So I need one more, and I think I'll be good. And then under this end, it had the one brass one, and I just added these 2 turbocharger bearing washers on there, and that gave me the extra little oomph I needed. It gave me almost 5 psi. So Scott and Steve in Wyoming, this is for you and your mechanic. That's how you get the pressure up. And then the O-rings in here, you can't use cat O-rings, they won't work. You just got to go get a set of standard O-rings and find the 2 O-rings that go on this that'll fit, and that'll seal them up. The one seal in there on this newer style valve that I just worked on, this is a cat O-ring. Come on, focus. 6 Victor 5759. This seal is for a C15 actuator. What the bag says, actuator oil supply seal. So that's the one you want to use there. And then in all of them, old or new, don't use a cat one, get you a box of these. And it's this one right here, which I'm totally out of. It says F20. That's the one you want to use. If you use a cat one or one that's too thick, the valve can't actuate, and it'll be really slow to exhaust the air and slow the engine down, and it'll be really slow to accelerate. And then the other thing that works really well is I bought a gauge like this and a teeth so I can check them and make sure that the pressure's set correctly, that it's got enough pressure. And so, like I showed you earlier before, there's tricky ways to do this. You just got to figure them out. So, good luck. Okay, I got my throttle out of the scraper here all hooked up. I've made some modifications internally. I used to only get 20 pounds, but now I can get almost 40, which is working really well. And that's kind of about what you got to have. You go 20, and in order to get it to floor it, you got to go all the way to 40. Okay, this is the hole it goes into right here. And if you got a twin engine scraper, tell your operators, filthy muddy boots and these air throttles do not mix. Because what happens is you get tons and tons of dirt on top of that rubber boot, grinds a hole in it, then that shit goes down in the valve. And the last valve I bought was $900. I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. I haven't had any luck finding them. So what we do is we like to keep our feet clean. And then the other thing is we'll take a vacuum in here if it's bad. Bring the shop vac and suck that shit up. That's how you put them back on. Put a chain around, hoist them up the truck.
Gotta go back just a wee bit, don't you? Slow it down a wee bit.
Good thing you don't have your fingers in there.
I went in the back. So I'm cleaning up the side of the firewall so I can put some hush mat type material on there. Anyway, every time I use this, John, I think of you. Thank you for sending me these bristle pads. They work awesome for cleaning this kind of stuff up, especially when it's got 3M glue on it. Takes that stuff right off. I'm putting down my peel and seal. Hey, so I put in number 2, I put some insulation, some silver-backed insulation I got from DB Noise Reduction, not down there in Texas. But I don't have any left, so I got looking on YouTube, and this guy said, you go down to Lowe's and you buy this peel and seal. He says it's identical to Hush Mat. Absolutely identical, only it's like a third of the price. So I bought like 3 of these, and then I bought some of this stuff maybe to put over it. But I'm going to put it underneath the floor on number 1 to kill some noise. I put some really thick stuff on number 2, and man, did it make it quiet. So that's my project. This is like Hush Mat. It's butyl rubber. So I put like 2 different courses under the floor under there. I'll show you that. But I cleaned all this up, primed it, and now I'm putting this on. And so I'm going to run it a row this way, and then I'm probably going to run a row this way and overlap it like shingles and bring it clear up in here so the water will shed over it. Okay, so I've got my stuff on here, and I went one way this way, and then I went across like this, and I started at the bottom and overlapped up kind of like you would shingles so the water can't get under it, but I couldn't do anything here. So anyway, I'm hoping this makes a big difference in the quiet and keeps some of the heat out of the cab. Okay, this right here is the magnetic switch that I talked about earlier. When you engage the rear starter, this magnetic switch closes. You got one 2-aught cable that comes off the starter, but you've got 2 2-aught cables that go clear back to the starter on the back. Anyway, the newer ones don't have that. They just they use their own separate starting system. You got batteries and alternator and all that stuff back there. My switchblade housing will be here in the morning. It's being overnighted. Jim is overnighting it. So hopefully we'll be putting the cushion hitch valve back on here, put the turbo on, and we're done. And the other 2 scrapers are finished. This is the cushion hitch and push-pull control valve. And then this is the disconnect, key disconnect on these old scrapers. This is the only key you have in them. Basically, when you turn the key off, it kills the ground. All the newer stuff has a disconnect too, but they use an ignition key also. And then if you leave that disconnect on, usually the product link GPS deal that locates the machine and all that will kill the battery. So if you're going to leave it very long, you want to turn that off. But this is the control valve, and this sends the signal to the cushion hitch valve to activate the hitch. And this one doesn't have the bell on the front like the other 2, but the other two still use the same valve. I think this port right here has a hose coming out of it. There's one more hose and it goes down, and down on the side of the frame down in there is a big valve that controls the bell cylinder. But anyway, what an amazing engineering marvel these are. The guys that dreamed up like the 8-speed semi-automatic transmission that are in these, all these control valves, all this stuff. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm envious of them. It's really cool what they did. Good job. Okay, this is underneath the floor. This has the steering control valve in it. Your brake valve. Over there is the rear throttle air cylinder. Here's the steering gearbox. That there's the differential lock valve. That's the trans hold valve. Dimmer switch. Pressure protection valve. All kinds of cool stuff in here, but this was a pain. This has got 2 layers of that stuff in under here. The best time to do this is when you're working on them and you got all this stuff cleaned out of here. So you got lots of room to work. And the only reason that I can get up in there is right here. There's usually an air tank here, but it broke off years ago and I never did put it back in. What I'd like to do is put an air dryer up in here. You don't really need the air tank. You got 2 big air tanks right there. And so if you just had an air dryer right there, it'd be fine. Okay, here's the turbo that's going to go on the scraper, and I had an issue with it. So this is the elbow. This turbo was originally on the C15, and this is a 4 1/4. And so this is the elbow that goes on the scraper. So I had to take it into S&G, and D cut me a sleeve and pressed it in here to take this down from 4 1/4 to 3 3/4. So I don't have to change the housing or anything. All I had to do was get that machine. So Jim shipped out the switchblade housing for me yesterday, I believe. So unless UPS loses it, it should be here Friday so we can get this on. Oh, cat box is full this morning. It's amazing how many boxes you can get in a cat box. Anyway, got a lot of packages going out. Got some going to New Zealand. Thank you very much for supporting Jpaydirt. Got some going to my friends, Roger and Lompoc. Thank you for sending the fittings, and also to Dean Schatz and Gillette and Thomas Beal. Thanks, man. Good morning. Oh, wait, Beefy Blade Hand already did that. I'm running way behind today. Got to get up earlier than old Ryan. So I just went in town and got me a box of extra large rubbers. Yeah, they're for my sausage fingers. I don't want to get any STDs on them. That's shop transmitted dermatitis. So I'm gonna go put in my soundproofing. Gonna get my hands in some MEK or some nasty stuff. That's why I don't want any STDs today. And I got people ragging on me all the time to wear protection, Jeff. Wear some protection, Jeff. What's wrong with you? All right, I'm gonna wear some protection today. Hey, the Filthy Whore got some new Hooters. You want to see the Filthy Whore's new Hooters? That's loud. Hey, Chris. They have to drive them Volvos down the road. I don't know, looks like they cut part of that one off. There's something wrong with that, ain't there?
Yeah, just drive that down the road. How about that?
So that little, what is that? 3 whatever Volvo, little short 0 radius machine. I looked at buying one of those. It was a used one. And I don't know if you guys have ever had something like that or been around them, but this guy had like 2 feet of 3/4 or 1 inch thick plate they'd cut out and stacked and welded on the back of the counterweight, trying to get it some stability. So my question is on these kind of machines, how do you get any stability out of them where they're that short? Check this out. Looks brand new, right? Looks totally usable. Not junk. Nice. Now you don't see it? Now you do. Got a full moon tonight. I don't know what's going on with the weather. Typical crazy weather. So tomorrow it's supposed to be 76. That's going to be hard for this penguin to get used to because, you know, geez Louise, 40 or 50 maybe was the high. Then all of a sudden 76. Anyway, Mr. TD24 is gone. Well, he's not gone. He's moved his tractor out of the way. We got to go move him so he can clean some canals this weekend. So I'll go in the house and see if I can put together a video for you. But I'm hoping by Friday evening, Saturday morning, this old girl's out of here. I can't frickin' wait to get gone. Get out of here. Just so sick and tired of fixing stuff. It's just insane. Oh, geez Louise, I almost forgot. So we're going to have to make some diapers. We're going to have to diaper around the ejector cylinder and the speed change valve. I know we are, because I know they're going to leak. So, shouldn't be hard. A big bag of big old zip ties and just zip tie them on, I would think. So, I spent all morning this morning. I was out here about 6 a.m., cleaned a lot of the junk off of here. Now it's covered in junk. That was clean. Cleaned this table totally off. Put the compressor housing on the turbo. Looks like that battery's charged. I need to buy one more Milwaukee grease gun. That way we all have a grease gun. We can get greased and get home at night. Oh, one more cool thing. So this job I'm going to, I don't have to be union, but the contractor I'm working for is union. He signed the stabilization agreement. So anyway, I got to join. I can't tell you how many times I've joined the operators union. So this is what it's going to cost me this time. And they ain't taking payments. I got to pay it all up front. Matt has already done his. His only cost $300 because he took a withdrawal. Jake's never been in the union. I have since 1980. But I've been inactive so long they took away my retirement. My retirement was going to be $19.80. So anyway, they changed it. It's no longer local 370. It's now 302, I think, or something like that, which I don't know what the deal is there. Yeah, it's a red twin stacker machine gun.
Richard, what the heck is that carburetor on this diesel motor? You got diesel gas in here you're running?
It's called kerosene, Mr. Anderson.
You run kerosene through the carburetor?
Through the carburetor, through the injectors, we run it all, man.
Well, daggum, it's got spark plugs too and a distributor. How come it hammers so bad?
Because it's an international, man. It's got nothing but power.
So what's this big round thing here with the belts on it? Looks like maybe something like a household generator or something.
That's a 60 kW generator right there, my friend.
So the deal with the carburetor is a plasma manifold.
No, that's up under the seat. Plasma
So that
manifold.
converts that kerosene to plasma.
Yes, it does. Makes it a high performance machine.
So does radiation come out the stacks?
No, it's piped back into the ground.
Oh, those are the radiation filters right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's quite a machine. Nuclear powered, I guess, huh?
Came right from the INEL.
Wow.
Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome edition of Jpaydirt, where I talk about some of my awesome subscribers. I want to start out with Samuel Howard. He's from Plymouth, Idaho. That's just down the road from me on I-15. Thank you for subscribing, Samuel. Jason Knight, he's from Cross City, Florida. Is everybody mad in Florida there, in Cross City? Dean Parsons from Buckner, Missouri. Thank you for subscribing, sir. Patrick Sieber from Warburg, Tennessee. Thank you, Patrick. The Wicking 94. He's a homie from Sweden. Thank you for watching clear over there. Dallas Gagne from Peace River, Alberta. And Norm the Snow Pusher from Banff. Thank you guys for subscribing. Check out the links below to get your Old Kenny coloring books, the Old Kenny hat, and either the Flex Fit or the standard Anderson construction hat. Plus, you can also get you a Filthy Whore if you want one on my site. Thank you very much for supporting me. It helps me buy cameras and pay for some of the stuff I do. So we'll see you next week. We're about done with these damn scrapers. I can't wait to get to work.